Hello, welcome to Window in Wilmington. I'm Shannan Harris. On today's show, we'll tell you what the Delaware Fund for Women does and how they can help you. We'll also find out what Bake the Night Away is and how you can help. Parks and Recreation has great programs throughout the year, and we'll let you know what they are. And Faithful Friends will join us with information on adopting a pet and low-cost pet services. But first, lead poisoning is still a major health problem for children across Delaware, specifically in Wilmington. D-Lead Wilmington tests and controls lead hazards at no cost. Franchon, Beeks, and Deneen White are here now with program details.
You might go a little protein.
Well, I'm so glad both of you ladies could be here today. Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having
much.
us. Yeah.
Lead problem is still a big problem, huh?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, this is a federally funded program that has been in existence now for 3 years with the city of Wilmington, and we're now moving into our extension of another 12 months.
Yay!
Yeah, give it up. And we're excited. We target, obviously, homes within the city of Wilmington. We have targeted zip codes, which are 19801, 802, 805, and 806. And we're really looking to families with children under the age of 6. That because these children are more likely to become poisoned by lead, and so we like to come in and create a healthier environment for them and their families.
Well, I got to ask you, Deneen, I
Sure.
thought lead-based paints were basically like done and over with. So why are you still seeing houses with lead in them?
Yeah, the majority of our housing stock is old,
Okay,
to be simply put, right? And so a lot of people, you know, assume that our housing stock is free of lead-based paint, but what you're going to find is that there's layers and layers of paint over top of this lead, and so over time, you'll see that the paint begins to deteriorate, chip, paint, flake, and cause chips and dust to exist on the floor where children play and their toys are. So, no, lead-based paint is very much still alive and living in people's homes.
And I guess, you know what, and it's sad, you know, because I guess like some people move into the homes and don't know that their house hasn't been, I don't know, what is it, lead remediation and all that stuff. You know, you just paint over top of it. So I'm painting over top of it with non-lead paint, but meanwhile, like you said, there's layers and layers underneath.
Yeah, and so our job is to, once we identify that a tenant is eligible, then we move into a unit eligibility phase where we come out and perform a visual inspection, where we just want to lay our eyes on the original components to see if there's a possibility of lead-based paint being there. Some landlords do a really good job at making sure, or owners of properties do a really good job making sure that the lead has been removed, but in many cases we find that it still exists.
Right.
And so that's when our unit site and services coordinator, Franchon Beeks, comes into play, and she works very closely with the contractors that perform the remediation, and she helps with that unit eligibility process as well. So,
Yes, and as she was saying, one of the challenges is that as long as the paint is stabilized, I mean, it's not chipped, cracked, deteriorated wood, and it's been painted with primer and a couple of coats of paint, it typically is stabilized. But the challenge becomes is that if you hadn't properly cleaned the unit, you know, you still have lead dust hazards throughout the units, particularly in the floors where the kids crawl around, and the windowsill components and things like that in the yards. So when Deneen goes out, does a visual, she's able to give a basic assessment. Yeah, I think it's possibilities of lead. So then we perform an actual lead risk assessment, which we use a specific XRF gun, which goes through up to 10 layers of paint. So it doesn't matter how thick it is, we can really tell. We can get down to it to see if it's above, lead hazards above the EPA standards that are considered safe. So that's the process. That's just to get to go. That's just to before we can even start work. But we're really excited because we've been able to develop the program. It's from an operations side, and also hire disadvantaged city-owned businesses to be our contractors. We give them a lot of oversight to ensure high quality of work. And then you get tested and cleared, and you get a report which landlords can use, owners can use, to show that their house has been tested for lead, where it was remediated. So it's a great program, and all of this is free of charge. And in fact, Deneen failed to mention, we relocate the clients into safe houses. lead-safe houses that are already furnished and things to try to make their stay away from home comfortable.
How long does this whole process take? So when they're relocating out of their house, how long would they be? I guess it depends on the seriousness
It
of the
depends
lead,
on
right?
and how many components, but average just 10 business days.
Wow, that's pretty quick.
It is pretty quick.
That is a quick turnaround.
And most people just, I think, assume that it's going to take much longer, maybe a month or two. But yeah, the process normally takes to remediate the lead is about 10 business days.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really great.
It is.
So then they get like a certificate, like everything is done and...
Well, it's a report from
Okay.
the
EHS
laboratory.
Because it has to,
I know, right?
and it has to be lab tested because we have to have that report for HUD and EPA standards and to be in compliance. And can't move back in until you get it that show that it's safe again.
Now let's talk about another reason why this program is so great besides the lead remediation process. What about that big $50 people get for every time they refer somebody to you, right?
I'm so happy you bring that up.
Hey, right? And there's no limit, so let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that, right? That's a great thing because the referral program is huge, and we get tons of referrals. You know, we have a number of different marketing efforts that we push. So we have our billboards and our bus campaigns and the radio and all these different things, but word of mouth has always been top on the list, right? When it comes to promoting any type of product or program. And so referral program is huge. And how it works is if you know of someone, so let's just say we come to Shannan Harris's house and we find that there's no lead.
Right.
And we say, Shannan, you know, if you know of anyone who lives within the city of Wilmington, within our targeted zip codes that may possibly have lead or interested in getting it tested to see if they have lead, tell them give us a call and mention your name. They call. We go out and perform a visual inspection. We identify that there is lead in the home. Once you do that twice, you'll get $50.
Wow.
Okay.
So I'm going to get a phone call all my friends.
Yeah, you
and
know.
It's unlimited. It's open to city employees, anybody. Refer. You know, it's a great program. I'm so glad she created it because people were already referring people because they care about people naturally, but with the extra monetary incentive, it really helps. And you know, $50 is $50. I mean,
nothing gets people moving faster than food and money.
That's right. Absolutely, I agree. And so, yeah, we've been finding a lot of success with that. So, you know, tell your friends and family to call and just to see, you know, it's a free analysis. So when we come out to the property, there's no charge to the homeowner or the tenant that occupies the unit because both are eligible to enroll. So, yeah.
And
absolutely.
You also, if you participate, you go through the program, we have incentives at the end as well. You get incentives for the inconvenience for being out your home.
Really?
You get a nice little cleaning package. You get an educational package with some goodies from Home Depot, one of our sponsors. So we're excited about that we are able to move forward with the program. And more specifically, you know, lead statistics show that lead poisoned children is a direct result to some juvenile violence.
Right.
So we
That's a good
know
point.
and believe
Right.
that what we're doing to service our community, especially with the violent rate we have now, is very important to the mayor's initiative to get, to do better, to limit crime in the city. So we know it's a direct assistance to the mayor's vision, and we're excited about that.
Absolutely.
So how can people enroll in the program?
Okay. Well, they should definitely call our number in the Real Estate and Housing Department, the 302-576-3000, and ask to speak with a member of the DLED team to enroll in the program.
And zip code specific where you're starting, where you're doing this at?
19801, 802, 805, and 806.
Okay.
Those are our target
And there
zip
is no
codes.
limit to how many people you can refer to the program to get your $50.
That's
and
right.
landlords call us.
Yes.
We call us. We ain't got nothing to do with L&I. Call us.
And we do vacant units.
We do vacant units as well. Call us.
Look, say
Landlords
that,
call us.
say it again. We have nothing,
Nothing
to
to
do
do.
with L&I. We have nothing to do.
But I mean, really, we're there. We're really here for the children, and that's what we're doing. We're here to create healthier homes,
absolutely,
and
for
for the children.
children.
That's for the babies.
Well, ladies, thank you for a very informative and fun segment.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank you.
having
Thanks
us.
for having us. We're
Thanks for being
excited.
on. And you know what? Maybe come back and maybe could you bring back a person who is actually going through the program and had their house cleared of the lead.
Oh, that would be exciting.
Great idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we should do
Definitely.
that.
I think we should too.
think
You're
so.
booked
Let's
through
work on that.
January, but we'll see about.
Well, at least you know, but we'll
know,
work
you're
on
a
that.
busy woman.
I try to be. Thank you. Say that again, Deneen. Did you hear? She said I was busy. Thank you, Deneen. Whatever. There was plenty of audio. We'll be right back with the Delaware Fund for Women after these messages. You guys did great.
Thanks.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing. Believe me, I'm good at it.
Once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell him.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? He needs something a little more
Persuasive.
yes.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Today, school kids rely on the internet for so many things: homework, math, research. But what about kids who don't have internet at home? Hello, I'm Theo Gregory, Wilmington City Council President. The internet is essential, as many as 80% of low-income families do not have access at home, including many right here in Wilmington. So help bridge this gap by supporting local broadband adoption programs. Let's get more students and families connected to the power of the internet.
The Delaware Fund for Women has been making a difference in the lives of women and girls in Delaware, building professional connections, strengthening community ties, and providing great networking opportunities are just a few of the many things that this great organization helps women with. Kay Keenan, I love saying that name, and Pamela Sharpe, like that name too, joining now to tell us more about the organization. Hello, ladies.
Hello, how are you?
Fine. I just want to say, Kay Keenan.
Thank you so much for having us.
I'm glad you ladies could join us today. Thank you so much. And the Delaware Fund for Women, I don't think a lot of people really know about it. And it was kind of like I had heard about it, but wasn't really sure what you ladies do.
So it was founded 21 years ago
Wow.
by a group of visionary women that didn't think there was enough grant money funding going for women and girls in Delaware. And so they said, gee, if we could get 1,000 women to give $1,000, then we could make a change. So we now have $3.2 million in our endowment.
Wow.
We have 1,400 founders. Most of them are women. We do allow men to become founders, but mostly women.
Right.
And we are making a difference. Last year we gave away, you probably should say this, but $165,000 to 17 different agencies.
Wow. Now, what kind of agencies are you giving this money to? Is there some kind of criteria that they need to meet?
Okay.
So
as Kay just mentioned, each year the Fund for Women makes grants to nonprofit organizations that serve the needs of women in the state of Delaware. And she also mentioned that last year we gave $165,000, which I think is awesome, to 17 different nonprofit organizations. And these organizations primarily focus on helping women and girls avoid abuse and poverty, as well as improving their physical and mental health. And also something that's key to me as well is gaining financial independence.
All very good things to help an organization with. And I would agree that probably there weren't that many organizations or foundations that really just looked out for women and girls.
And we don't restrict our grants now, Shannon, to only organizations that support women and girls, but primarily we're looking for ways to fund them. So Friendship House has a wonderful women's program for women that are coming out of prison, getting their jobs. And you may be aware, or your viewers may be aware, that getting dental care is really hard. And So one of the things we helped Friendship House with is they had gotten dentists to give very good pricing on dental care, but they still needed more money.
Listen, I have to say kudos to you. I have insurance, and dental care is brutal for me. It's high.
So we gave them a $15,000 grant where women that need work done on their teeth can have it done. And it then allows them to get better jobs because no one will hire as your front desk receptionist a person with bad teeth.
Right.
And so it's one of those programs that some of us are so naive we don't even think is needed.
Right.
And then when you read the grant application, it's like, wow.
Right.
We really want to support programs like this.
And I would have to think it's something just, is what most people might think of as just something like, oh, it's just getting your teeth done. Not only does it move you forward in the possibility of securing employment, but it does something for your own self-worth.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't want to smile and you're missing half a rack of teeth, I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, so I think that is really a great program. I really do.
With the Delaware Center for Justice, this is my other favorite one, with Delaware Center for Justice and Child Inc., we go into Baylor Prison and we fund for women that are at Baylor to go to parenting class.
Wow.
And that allows them, when they get out of prison, to have better access to getting their children back in their custody. And it shows that it reduces recidivism.
Right.
I can't say that word, recidivism.
Nobody can.
Okay.
You're right, nobody can.
It reduces the chance of that woman going back to prison.
Right.
Yes. What better gift can we give as women to other women?
Right. This is really a great organization. This is really a great chance to help empower someone who might not have the chance to do that.
And you mentioned that we're not well known. We're working hard on being better known, why we're here today.
I'm glad you could come, and I want you to keep coming back.
I'd love to come back. But it's really an accessible organization to belong to. First, you don't have to do anything other than give us money. So for all the busy people in the world, it works well. And you can join us for $200 a year for 5 years. So and you can pay that quarterly, you can pay that monthly. So it's not even a big barrier. It's $1,000 to become a founder.
Right.
But, when you think about $200, most people can figure out how to get that into their budget.
Now, let me ask you something. As the vice chair, what are some of the ways that you're doing to grow the endowment? We're saying it is a small amount to ask.
And so we are actively looking for more founders. We do a number of events where we ask women to bring friends to become a founder. And we have done some neat things. We used to say it had to be paid $200 in one check. Well, now we've got the ability to do it monthly. So we've changed with the times to make it more accessible. We also, of the 1,400 founders, we're always asking them to think about other people in their family. Who would they like to give as the perfect Christmas gift?
Right.
Making them a founder.
Right.
Yes.
That is a nice gift.
Yes. So there are some founders that have made their daughters or their sons, husbands, founders. So that also helps us to expand.
Right.
Well, we're really fortunate. Carla Markel is actually signing our year-end letter with two of our founders that have made their daughters founders, and Carla's made her daughter a founder. So very much on that theme of what can you do.
Yeah, that is great. Now, are there any events that people can help volunteer for? Because, besides funding, I'm sure you do things where you need other help too, people to volunteer for specific things or.
So we're not a volunteer organization other than board leadership, committees, because we really are into the philanthropy, the perpetual gift and the perpetuity of giving away money. So we're not big on finding volunteers. We will help people if they know a specific organization that wants money. Then that's really what we're here to talk about today, is because we're about to give away money in 2015.
That's right.
Listen, everybody likes to hear you're giving away money, right? Yeah. So now how do organizations, if they are in need, they have a specific area, like you mentioned about the dental care, how do they go about contacting you all to receive some sort of donation?
So the Fund for Women, primarily, as Kay has mentioned, is makes grants to nonprofit organizations. And so we're actually entering to the beginning of our granting season now. So you can now get the application online. So if you go to www.delcf.org/grants, FFW, Fund for Women, you can get the grant application. But we also want to go beyond just making that application accessible. We want to help those first-time organizations who have not applied for a grant, and even those organizations who has applied in the past but weren't successful. So we're going to be holding 2 different workshops. And because the Fund for Women is a statewide organization, we will have 2 workshops. The first one will actually be on this Friday, December 12th, and it will be held in Dover. And this will be at 10:30 at the Sindel Community Building, which is located at 101 Lookman Street. And then next week...
I think it's Lockerman.
Lockerman, okay, I didn't get that right. Lockerman Street. As anyone who from Dover will get lost looking for Lookman Street. Lockerman Street.
Right.
And then the second one will be next week here in Wilmington.
Okay.
And that will be held at the Community Service Building, which is at the 100 West 10th Street, and it'll be at 10 o'clock.
So let me ask you, I'm a organization and I'm going to come to one of these sessions. What do I need to bring?
Yourself.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
And you have to be a 501c3.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, it's not just anybody, but we will only give money to a 501c3.
C3, very good, very good. Because you will show the steps on how you need to prepare your paperwork for this, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And answer tough questions like why we won't tell them why they haven't been granted a grant before, but we might direct them on how to make it more appropriate.
Right.
We really are looking at funding women and girls, programs related to them.
Yes. Right. I am so glad you ladies came on today.
Good. Grants are open January 1st. We
Okay.
start accepting them to the last Friday in January, which is not the last day of January, it's January 30th. So we don't want anybody to be filling this out at midnight on the 30th and sending it on the 31st because it will not be accepted.
I'm glad you said that. That is important too.
It is.
Yes. So it is not the last.
It's not the last day of the month. It's the last Friday
of the month,
which is January 30th.
Yes.
January 30th. Very good, Kay. Thank you. Well, you ladies look lovely in red, and I'm so glad you could be here today.
Well, thank you very much.
for having
And
us.
please come back and share with us about more of your great gift giving.
We'd love to come back and tell you who we're giving money to in 2015.
We'll definitely do that then, Kay.
Thank you, Shannan.
Thank you. Up next, we'll bake the night away when we return. Ladies, do.
And we're also your neighbors. We're asking you to let us know about your community events, achievements, concerns, and issues.
That's why we created a special email address that will connect you to all of us in City Council.
Drop us an email about things going on in your neighborhood with Community Events 22 at wilmingtonde.gov. That's Community Events 22 at wilmingtonde.gov.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Bake the Night Away is an annual all-night baking marathon to thank the members of our first responders. We want to call them first responders, Chef?
Okay.
Yeah, first
sure.
responders in the Delaware community that work to keep us safe. Chef Michael Mullin from Delcastle High School joins me now to tell us all about it. Hey, Chef.
Hello.
Okay, we're baking the night away. That's right, I had to do it. I was going to sing. Yeah.
We have a new song.
We do. You want me to come kick off everything and sing a little something?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be fun.
He's not going to say no. He said yes. So Bake the Night Away, what a great idea. And, I know this is something like giving thanks to the men and women who are first responders in the communities. What is Newcastle County, state of Delaware?
Yeah, this is our 7th year doing it. It started out with Mothers Against Drunk Driving came up with the idea, and unfortunately they lost their funding in Delaware. So we kind of kept it alive, and we have about maybe 60 to 70 students that stay overnight, and we bake 10,000 cookies and box them all up and get them out to all the police officers in the whole state of Delaware. So.
And for anybody who does not believe they bake 10,000 cookies, Paul, are they bringing up that picture where there's 10,000 cookies? I mean, that is literally amazing. And these kids, I mean, that is great. And what a thankless thing for them to do, I mean, does anybody see that? Look, this room, that's what, 10,000 cookies, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
it's
amazing.
A lot of the boxes, and we put a dozen in each box, and we usually have a little flyer in there about it, and get them all out to them. We get a distribution thing going. Claire Garrison from the
Claire.
From the Delaware Youth Volunteerism. She helps out a lot for the Kent and Sussex counties, and then we usually take care of all of the Newcastle County areas.
Wow, that is really great. So once you bake all these cookies, what happens? Then I guess you need people to deliver them, right?
Yeah, that's where we get our distribution going with them. A lot of usually Claire comes up and usually comes up with like 2 vans. We load up everything she needs. We have a list of how many they need for each precinct, and then we usually have some of our students help, some of the parents, some other people from like the Ronnie Williams Foundation helps out a lot, and we get them all out to all the precincts and make sure that we try to get them to all the police officers.
And some of the officers actually show up now. I spoke with Claire, and she told me that one of the fallen officers, his family actually came one year to
they actually came for the last couple of years. Officer Zerba, his 4 brothers come in, and they help usually box up a lot of them. We start the day about like 3-4 o'clock right after school. There's a lot of volunteers that come in and decorate the boxes. We usually have some of our gingerbread house constructions going on with some of the kids. They can do a lot of different things, decorating gingerbread men and and things like that. But once we get all the boxes decorated, right around 9 o'clock, we kind of close it down, like around 8 or 9 o'clock. Then we just kind of lock it down and lock everyone in, and we just continue to bake and we'll have a few.
Bake the night away. I was going to sing that again, right? Well, in case
catchy.
It is catchy. In
all
case
the way
anybody
home, I'll be
is
singing it.
You're going to sing it too, right? And you got to sing it like this. Bake the night away. Okay. In case really, Pauls, don't make those faces. In case anybody is wondering, go ahead, Chef. Tell me what's in this box and open it up so we can get a nice shot of it.
Well, we made some chocolate chip cookies for you to try.
Yay! And I'm going to eat them on air.
And
as usual.
we brought enough for probably just about everybody.
Did you really? I have to share?
Yeah, we just did a couple dozen just today.
All right, let's see. Turn around. Can you see it? Let's turn it around, Paulie. Look at these beautiful. Wow. So I'm going to eat one now, right?
You should. And they're very addicting, so be careful.
Really? So that means I'm going to be calling you all the time, like, Chef, where's my cookies at?
Probably.
But these are, so do you bake chocolate chip cookies for everybody, or is it like sugar cookies too, or?
No, we just do chocolate chip cookies.
Best cookies.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like chocolate chip cookies? I love this. How do you get the kids to volunteer for this?
We have a sign-up sheet, and usually they're pretty much on board. We have a lot of different community service events that we do. We just came back from Washington, D.C. for the Taste of Delaware, Senator Coons event that he puts on. We had about 35 students, I believe, that came, and We worked with other restaurants and everything, so they're kind of on board with doing a lot of these things.
Really?
So.
Well, I'm going to take a bite of this cookie. Huh?
You baked the night
Oh,
away.
my. Chef, let me tell you, everybody, this is a good cookie. You put your big toe in this cookie. Right. I mean,
that's serious love.
Yeah, right. You got your big toe. This is a good cookie.
Good.
Everybody, you got to taste these cookies.
Yeah, like I said, they're very addicting, so be careful.
Oh, I'm going to eat the whole box. I don't think anybody in here is getting any. So do you need volunteers to help you do this besides the school kids?
Well, we do. Like I said, we're open to the public from around 3 or 4 o'clock until like 8 or 9 o'clock. And anybody's welcome to come by at Delcastle and, join in to whatever we're doing. We do our homemade hot chocolate while we're there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So I can gain like 50 pounds while I'm there?
Yeah,
and yes, I'm eating. Sorry, everybody, but this cookie is really good.
But we have a lot of things going on. So usually everybody kind of, gets into it and, works on a lot of different things.
Okay. So we want to remind everybody that's Friday, December 19th.
Yes.
They can come to Delcastle High.
Mm-hmm.
And that starts 3 to 4. They can start coming
3
in.
or 4 o'clock. Right after school, we start getting everything set up, and people are welcome to come in. We set up everything in the cafeteria, and everybody just starts to work. We actually have a lot of alumni come and come back, and, because we're a happy dysfunctional family, so everybody still keeps coming
and
back.
You're baking the night away. Hey. And we want to remind everybody, gingerbread house tours also. So you can get like a class on how to make them?
What we do is we're starting actually tomorrow. We're actually doing like 4 of them. We're starting a Chick-fil-A down in Elkton, Maryland. The one in Elkton and the one on, they're both on 40, but one in Barron, one in Elkton. They actually help us out for Bake the Night Away a lot. They donate all the dinner for all the students and everything. They bring a bunch of sandwiches, and then they come back in the morning and bring breakfast for us.
Wow.
Because when we wait, when we're getting going and about 7 a.m., everybody wants to eat a little something.
God, so maybe I need to volunteer. Wait a minute. So you guys, I get to eat free cookies all night, and eat the cookie dough, which I do like. Chick-fil-A for dinner, Chick-fil-A for breakfast.
Chick-fil-A for dinner is for the students.
Oh, I had to bring my own. He just had to go there,
so
didn't he?
We do the gingerbread house. What we do there is, we'll have a lot of kids come in and they do, they build gingerbread houses. We get the milk cartons from High Point Dairy. They actually seal up empty milk cartons for us to use. The graham crackers, and all that kind of stuff. And then we have gingerbread men that they decorate.
Right.
We make chef hats that they can decorate and everything, and
that's really great,
Christmas cards, all those kinds of things. So.
Well, you know what? I think we all want to thank you and the students at Delcastle for doing this great event every year.
Thank you.
And I do hope you come back next year and we can talk more about it. You're going to have to bring cookies, and you're going to have to sing what?
Yeah, and bake the night away.
Hey! Love this guy. You're definitely coming back. Thank you so much.
I'll have to bring some hot chocolate next time.
I want some hot chocolate too. Oh, you're just going to make me crawl up on this couch with a blanket and go to sleep then, right?
That's it.
After my sugar rush. Well, this was truly a great cookie, and I'm going to finish it right now in 2 seconds, but after we sign off. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing you.
All right. Absolutely.
Parks and Rec programs when we return.
in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
accidents happen. So do huge medical bills. Find out how to get health insurance coverage by visiting ChooseHealthDE.com.
The City of Wilmington Parks and Recreation Department offers a variety of programs for the whole family all year round. And Sean Baker is here now to talk to us about some of the programs. And Sean, I think the first program that I want to really start talking about is the chess program. That is a great program, and I know we have photos. And I want you to tell us about that, because I didn't even really know that. Well, I think I remember that you did that, but I didn't know that it was that big of a program.
Right. Well, what has happened, we're now in the Public Works Parks and Rec building down at the William G. Turner building. And the gentlemen in the afternoon, once they get off work, play a lot of chess. And they've been doing it since we've been down there. We've been down there since 2007. And Rashid Mustafa, the superintendent of recreation, was looking at that and said, Sean, it'd be a great thing for the kids to play those men, because they play every day. And those men, they have tournaments. We had a tournament last year for the men.
So are some of the men really good?
Some of the men are excellent.
Really?
Excellent, outstanding. They play, they do a real nice job, headed by Shannan Starkey, which collaborated with us. So we thought, okay, let's put this together. So Rashid went by Thomas Edison and looked at the banner and it said national champions, because Thomas Edison had won a national champion, had went to San Francisco, had went to Chicago, really? And went to different places and
Thomas
won.
Edison high school?
Thomas Edison, no, elementary.
Elementary
school? These are elementary school kids, middle school kids.
I didn't think I even knew about that.
Yeah, they have an outstanding team done by their Principal L. Also assisted with Marquita Davis. They have 4 or 5 females that play, and they have a group of like 12 to 15 kids that play every afternoon. That play on a team, and then they have 30 or 40 kids that just play tennis, and it's really caught on fire. The one kid is a national champion, a 13-year-old national champion, and he beat all the men. We've played him twice. They came down to Parks and Rec Public Works and played once. We played there.
What's his name?
I don't know his name. I don't know his name, but I'll find out his name.
But we need to find out. That's really nice.
Right. I don't know his name.
But he's like a national chess.
He's a national chess champion.
Wow. And he's in elementary school?
Elementary school. And he's excellent. I mean, what happened? We transported them down to the Public Works Parks and Rec building, and the men lined up in front of him, and they played, and he beat them all.
No.
That was on November 18th. And then on December 2nd, we went back to Thomas Edison played, and we took the men's team, collaborated with Parks and Rec, and he beat them all that night.
Wow.
So he's been beating all the men, and he's been killing them. And it's an outstanding program, again, done by our superintendent, Rashid Mustafa. Had collaborated with Thomas Edison. It's just
and kudos
real
to that young
program.
fellow, whatever his name is.
Yes, and they have 4 or 5 females that do an excellent job also. So it's a real nice program. It's very interesting to see, because you can't pay for that.
Right.
You can't pay for that camaraderie as an adult, like your father playing you in chess, and it's a great thing to see their eyes light up. I'm sure we have some footage on it that have shown some excellent things, and it's just a great thing. It's one of the better things that we've done in Parks and Rec, and it's just a real nice program.
I like that. That's really good for you guys. Really good.
We plan on making a league out of it. We're going to involve Hicks Anderson in it. They're going to have a team. We're going to involve some of the community centers, some of the rec centers. We plan on having a tennis league, like we have a basketball league or a football league or a track and field league or different leagues and different tournaments to make it a league.
Okay, good for you. Well, a very good program, and I'd like to thank all the men that participate in the program, and nice shot to them doing their thing as well on the chessboard, I guess. I don't know, is that what you call it, doing their thing on the chessboard?
Right. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, I thought that was really nice, and a nice way to, help out with young men in the community. Great job.
We're looking forward to it in 2015.
Okay. So what else is new at Parks and Rec?
A lot of different things. We're doing our indoor tennis up at Warner School. We have an indoor tennis thing where we put the nets out and we play indoor tennis. We're trying to do an indoor volleyball tennis thing at the Powell Center. We're doing some soccer at Lewis Elementary. We're also doing our rec sites, which are open now. Every night of the week we have a rec site open, Monday through Friday, whether it be at PS DuPont, Bancroft, Bayard, Powell, Hicks Anderson Center, Lewis Elementary. and we're open, and Stubbs we're also open there, so we're doing the rec sites. We have our youth basketball meeting last night, which went very well. We had 8 to 10 teams. Coaches show up, and we usually have between 40 and 50 teams in that. Now it'll start in January. And our big tournament, Ben Jones tournament, December 26th through the 30th, for ages from all the way from 7-year-olds until adulthood. So we're looking forward to getting on that on the Christmas holiday. And that's done basically for the students and the people of the community to have something to do over the Christmas holidays. Because, they're off of school, they're out of school. We want to give them something to do. Because, again, we believe that as long as we keep people occupied and as long as we are doing things, that helps the crime rate, that helps their lives, that helps them do different things.
Now, let me ask you, because you mentioned that this is going to happen when kids are off of school. So is there a registration period now?
Yes. Registration will end December the 18th.
Okay.
Which is in about 8 days, beginning of next week. But if somebody came the 20th, we would accept them because we want people to participate. So we're looking forward to getting registration. We have about 15 or 20 teams registered already.
Okay.
So we're looking to get up to about 40 teams, and depending on how it goes, we'll see. It's free of charge, or we don't turn anybody away, and we're looking forward to it.
Okay. Hicks Anderson programs.
We have a lot of different programs going on at Hicks Anderson now. They have the Girls on the Run. They have the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts are going on at Hicks Anderson. They have the soccer every Monday at Hicks Anderson, which we started off with our soccer coordinator, Sefton Morris, which coordinates a soccer program at Lewis. But we took him over to Hicks, and all of a sudden we had 2. And then the other day we had 37 kids playing soccer. And that's a phenomenal thing for a non-traditional sport in an urban area, urban area, not a suburban area, in an urban area. And those kids love the soccer.
Where do they play at?
They play in the gym. We put the little goals up, and they play with a little tether ball. It's a regular full-size soccer ball, but it's called a tether ball because it's cloth.
Right.
And they kick it, and they play. It's interesting to see how they've jumped onto it, and now we have, and that's going to turn into a league. So that's been an outstanding thing. They have the weight room open at Hicks Anderson. We also have the computer lab open, and there's various amount of programs going on at Hicks Anderson that we're doing.
Mm-hmm. And it's still the Safe Haven program will still operate too?
Well, no, Safe Haven is done. Safe Haven stopped
done?
the end of October.
Okay.
Yeah, Safe Haven is done, but they're open every day from 8 in the morning until 8 at night.
Okay. Any chance Safe Haven will come back?
I would say it's going to come back next July. That's a grant program by the state. And they have to give us the grant for us to be able to move forward on that. And it's usually a 4-month program: July, August, September, and October.
Okay. So anything you want to remind everybody about before we go?
Well, just have a great holiday. Holiday season's coming up. Be safe and sound. Eat as much as you like to eat. We
don't want to get fat. You see I got a whole box of cookies here.
But they'd come to work out because the weight room at Hicks is open, and they can come and work out from 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 at night, and just have a great holiday.
And before we go, Sean, also the programs that you mentioned, Ben Jones, the chess programs, registration, sign up for any of them, what do folks need to do?
They can call 302-576-3810 or go on. All of our programs are on the city website. Go on the city website, look up the program, and get in touch with us. And if there's anything that we're not doing now, there might be something in the community that you would like us to do.
Oh, okay. This is our favorite time. He's asking for program suggestions. What are we suggesting here, guys? I said javelin last time.
We're not. No, I told you it's a liability. It's a safety situation. No, we're not doing archery.
What else?
Unless you get a certified archery instructor. Also, Hicks Anderson's pool is open from 8 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night too. So they can come and do lane swimming, or they can come and do some circle swimming. And they also is an aerobics program on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 8, done by Mr. Ed Johnson, where they come and do water aerobics, and they do different activities in the water, and they play some water polo. So the pool is open at Hicks, and it's full service, and people over there are doing a nice job with Naeem Collins, Diamante Hickling, and Daryl Manlove are our lifeguards over at Hicks Anderson, and they're doing a fine job also.
Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to think of a sport.
No,
what is it? Real polo. Jousting.
That's outside. No. Safety.
Well, I mean,
safety. We're also doing our adult billiards league. I forgot to mention that before. We're doing an adult billiards league at different facilities around the city, and they have every facility has a team.
Do you guys still do the bowling?
Yes, we're doing bowling. We're doing bowling over at First State Lanes every Saturday. The seniors can bowl for free. We're paying if seniors want to go bowl. Seniors can go and bowl 55 and above.
And then you have blind bowling too?
No, we had a blind bowler. We didn't have blind bowling. But bowling's going on at First
Well, I
State.
thought you had blind. I'm
No,
sorry,
we didn't have blind bowling. We had a bowler that was blind.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
But the bowling program done by Herb Brown over at First State Lanes every Saturday from 9:30 in the morning until 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
okay. You know what? Thank you, Sean Baker.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. He's making me laugh and cry all at the same time.
No, we're not doing blind archery. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Thank you, Sean. Don't touch my cookies.
I'm not.
Okay. Faithful Friends is up next when we return.
I want my Ed TV.
I want my Ed TV.
I want my Ed TV. I want my Ed TV.
I want my Ed TV.
I want my Ed TV.
Yeah.
I want my Ed TV. I want my Ed TV.
Thinking about adopting a pet, or do you need low-cost vet services for your furry friend? And they do have a lot of fur. Faithful Friends is our one-stop shop for all your pet needs. And my friend Shannan O'Neill is here now to tell us all about great adoption services. Like, you got a lot of adoption stuff going on through the month of December,
We have
right?
a lot of adoption stuff going on. So we're trying to find as many animals homes for the holidays as we can. This is Vinny.
He's cute.
And
he's big.
Yeah, he's gonna check it out.
He said there's Paul Kennard over there.
So yes, we have a few we have a few adoption specials going on. We have our holiday adoption special, which is in partnership with Best Friends Animal Society in Utah. They're a national organization.
Right.
And we're offering $25 adoption fees for all of our cats. So they're $25, which is discounted. Includes they're all spayed and neutered,
Right.
they're up to date on their vaccines, and they're microchipped. And so it's just another way to get people into the shelter and introduce them to our cat. So Vinny's being a little spunky here today. Let me
That's
see if I can
okay.
get him on my lap.
He's using the catch as a scratching pad. That's fine. It's okay.
Making it interesting for us here. So we also have a Misfit special, which is kind of along the lines of the theme of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the
Right.
Island of the Misfit Toys. So we have some Misfit pets, and they may, just have look a little different or be a little
Right.
older, and we're waiving adoption fees on those select animals. So
How old do you think Vinny is? He's a big guy.
Vinny's about 2. He's about 2 years old. He was found in someone's backyard. They had cats of their own, but they couldn't take him in. But they knew he was very friendly, so they brought him to Faithful Friends. And unfortunately, he had a wound.
Really?
And so he had to go on a quarantine, which is like 6 months, to make sure that he wasn't exposed to rabies. And of course, he wasn't. But he was in a cage for 6 months, which is a long time for a friendly cat. So he was cared for by our staff and volunteers, but he really wanted to get out because, as you can see, once he settles down, he's a great lap cat.
What's
He's a real handsome boy.
That cat from the commercial, 9 Lives commercial, he looks like him.
Oh, Morris? Was it
Morris?
Yeah. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Doesn't he look like? Yeah, Mars is not. That's Vinny. That's his replacement, Vinny.
This is Vinny. Yeah. So Vinny is part of our 20. So he can be adopted for $25, adoption fee. But we have hundreds of great cats, and we have dogs at the shelter as well. So we welcome people to come in, take a tour, visit the animals, and see if they find any that they like and want to bring into their family.
Now, Shannan, if somebody already has pets at home and they want to adopt, we want to remind everybody, is it a good idea? How does this work? Should they bring their pet that they have at home down so they can meet each other?
Eventually, yes, absolutely. So we ask them to come without their pet first, just to, spend time with the animals and make sure that they're talking to our staff, making the right match for them and their family, and then absolutely we'll do a meet and greet mostly with dogs. Now, if there are cats there in the home already and they're bringing a cat in, we can just give them tips on how to introduce the cat.
Right. And we want to remind everybody that a lot of the people that work at Faithful Friends it's volunteers, right?
Right. We do have a decent staff base now, just because we have so many animals to take care of. But we have about 300 volunteers now. A lot of them are helping at the shelter. Some of them are helping outside in the community doing outreach services. But we wouldn't be able to take care of as many animals as we do, or provide as much service as we do to the community without volunteers. So we can always use more. So people can find information on our website, which is faithfulfriends.us, and they can find adoption information, volunteer information. They can actually download a volunteer application right there too.
Now, do you guys have like a foster type of program too?
We do, and we really welcome that. And I know that some people are, they know they want to adopt, they're ready, they come in and they know they want to keep the animal forever. Some people want to try it out. They're not sure if the animal's going to get along with their other animals. They want that trial basis, and so that's perfect. We really welcome fosters, and a lot of times fosters will end up keeping the animal, and that's the best case scenario. We also have some, as I mentioned, older animals or animals that might have like a special medical condition. It doesn't require a whole lot of other additional care, but maybe just like a certain medication or something they need, and it might prevent majority of adopters from like wanting to take that animal home, but we really encourage people to give it a try. And so fostering is a great way for people to, I don't know if I can take that on, let me give it a try. And then they see just how easy it is, and they really, then, the animal becomes part of their family, which is great.
And I think that everybody needs to know, and you offer so many great services, and you also offer the low-cost veterinarian services, which are really important. So people really need to pay attention to that too.
Yeah, we know that a lot of people, most people love their pets and they really want to keep them healthy, and we want to be able to help people keep their pets healthy and keep them out of shelters. A lot of the high cost of caring for a pet can sometimes force people into thinking they need to relinquish a pet to a shelter. So we do what we can to provide services to the community members that have pets and to help them keep them healthy. So we have affordable vet care. We have surgeries, spay, neuter, some other basic surgeries. We have vaccinations, and they can just give us a call. They can check our website and give us a call and ask us if they're having a problem with their pet. We also do just health checks and sick checks. So if the animal's not feeling well, they can make an appointment, or if the cat or dog is just due for a checkup or vaccines.
Yay!
So we offer a lot of that, and we want to help people. We also have a free pet food bank. So if people are having trouble making ends meet that month and need a little food to help supplement, they can certainly come in and get some cat food, dog food, and sometimes we have other supplies too that we aren't using for our shelter animals that go into the food bank.
Now let me ask you, to replenish that stuff that you're donating, I'm sure you can always use donations too.
Always use donations, especially for the food bank, but also for our shelter animals. We have a wish list on our website so people can look and see what we need for the shelter. Anything we get outside of that goes to the pet food bank, and absolutely. So we get donations from individuals are always welcome, and businesses as well. And we have some people over the holidays doing donation, like supply drives for us, and that's always welcome throughout the year.
That's really cool. That's really great.
I
love this cat. He is really good.
Oh, you're cute.
He is cute. So Shannan, before we go, we want to remind everybody the adoption specials through December, the Misfits.
We have the Misfit Special, which is waived adoption fee on some of our like designated special animals. It could be age, it could be medical condition, it could just be that they've been at the shelter a little too long.
Right.
We have all of our cats are $25, so cats and kittens, so come in and visit them. And we also have our match challenge going on right now.
Oh, yeah, right.
So it's a $175,000 match challenge. So every donation that's made up to $175,000 through February 15th is being matched by a handful of donors, which is just remarkable, and we're very excited, and we've raised about $50,000 towards that goal. So we still have a ways to go, but
that is really great.
We want to maximize that, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And tours, can people come take tours?
They can absolutely take tours. They can walk in. The public is welcome. We're open Wednesday through Friday from 1 to 7 p.m. and then Saturday from noon to 5. And tours are available anytime during those hours of operation. But if they can't come during that time, please give us a call and we can arrange for a tour outside of those times too.
All right. Well, I think that's about it. We talked about the match. We want to remind everybody to go ahead and donate because that challenge, when's the deadline?
Till February 15th.
February 15th.
But, end of the year is a great time to get tax write-offs and all that stuff. So donate now.
Donate now. And adoption for misfits or just lower adoption fees.
Cats.
Tours. I mean, you guys have it all.
Got it all.
And low-cost veterinarian services.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you so
Shannon.
much for having us.
I'm so glad you could be here today. It's always a pleasure. And Vinny, you are just the
purring
cutest.
away over
He's
here. He's
cute.
happy now.
And he's big.
He's big. He's
Paul
handsome.
Colsey's actually the cat guy.
Oh, yeah. Come visit. Come visit Vinny.
You want to come visit Vinny? Do you still have a lot of cats at your house? 12. He's a cat lady.
Oh, it's 13.
Well, you can always add one more.
Yeah.
And look, I know he would love you.
Yeah. Vinny would love other cats. He's very friendly with other. He lives with about 5 other cats in a free roaming room at the shelter now. So he would do just fine in the family with other cats. Yeah.
It's your new cat.
Okay, sure.
Anyway, Paul. Well, I'm so glad you could be here, Shannon, and we'll
Thank
see you again next year. And Vinny, we hope you find a home. I think you will. You're just a friendly little fella and so cute. Mars, 9 lives. I think with his agent, he needs an agent. Be you.
Are you a superstar?
Yes, he is. He's
away
cute,
now.
and he's
turning
cute.
away.
Well, I guess it's that time that we must say goodbye. So, for everybody here at WITN Channel 22, I'm Shannon Harris. Happy holidays, and we'll see you next time.